Okay, testing. Let's make sure. Okay, guys, good morning. Welcome aboard to the Morning Note. My name is Carlos Garcia, founder and CEO of GAR Capital. Thanks so much for taking the time out of your day to join me this morning and every morning at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, daily when the market's open here on the YouTube channel. I didn't do the video yesterday because I was at the office and my OBS, in terms of, I have a widescreen monitor at the office. The problem is in for the OBS system, it doesn't get it very clear. When I use the iMac at home, and now over there I use a laptop, but here at home I have an iMac. And for when I look back at the videos that I do on YouTube, I'll check them out for quality, I guess, to make sure they're okay. They're not as sharp. So I don't want to do a video where you at least can't see the damn chart. So it's not the best to do a live YouTube at the office, just for the simple fact that I have a laptop over there. It doesn't have the nice sharpness and the nice quality of the actual charts. So again, the OBS doesn't really give us a lot to mess with, at least over there. But at least at home, I'm gonna do the videos every day from home instead, because the computer here is a little better. So I'm just kind of giving you a background of why yesterday I didn't do a video. But again, I appreciate you guys here with me. Again, if you like these videos, make sure to hit that like button, share these videos if you like. Make sure to subscribe, hit the little notification bell so you don't miss anything. Still working on some different things in terms of YouTube. It's been kind of a choppy kind of couple of weeks, couple of days, not the best trading in the world, at least in terms of opportunities. But, here we are every day back at it. Let's go ahead and rock and roll. The Dow is up 205 points, Nasdaq up 118 points, S&P up 30, Russell up about 18 points at 1863. Rest in peace to the Queen. Again, that we have a lot of people from England and Britain area that are members and are followers of us. I really didn't talk a lot about it, since it's not very financial based information, but again, it's important to at least stay in the know. Crude oil is up about 3.24% this morning. Let's go and take a look at crude oil. Crude oil is back in range below, it was below 85. Remember that level there. I still have Chevron stock. That's the only energy exposure other than my dividend port. But again, nice to see again if you're an energy trader or you're an energy investor getting back above that 85 level. And the reason that crude oil is actually down is really the dollar. Again, a good old dollar. Now we're back into this range here where we got as above as 110.78. Now we're below 110. This is going to help equities, at least in the short term. If the dollar stays below 110, then we could see some continuation in stocks. But again, the volume is not as strong either. Let's go to the volatility index. The VIX is down about 2.33%. Looks like we'll be retesting, remember this level here. Let's go and take a look at it. This trend line, remember this trend line here? Looks like we're going to retest it. And if we do break it, we're going to fill this gap of around 21.27. That should give us a little more upside for S&P futures. Let's go to the daily chart. And right now we're at the 100-day moving average on the daily, which is crossing the 50. The only thing that concerns me is that this may be resistance. Now, again, in terms of volume, it's pretty light, not the best volume. 40.85 is the next resistance. But looking at the 4-hour chart, you can see we broke out of recent resistance, which is this double top here, broke above it. This is the high of last week. This right here is Jackson Hole, I believe. This is 829. So again, if we can recapture that and get above the 100-day on the 4-hour, which will be 40.64. So again, we're not out of the woods yet, but again, pretty nice price action against, especially if you are an investor. Tough one this week. I mean, I had puts this week and it didn't bang out, but we had QQQ calls yesterday, so at least that alleviated somewhat. But again, I was expecting us to retest 3,900. It didn't happen. Being a bear is not easy, obviously. But again, this looks to be pretty big resistance here around 40.64. We're now at 40.35. I don't know if I want to chase this rally as of yet. I have one trade open, which is Apple puts here. Take a look at this. And Apple really on the hourly, again, is underperforming the broader market, at least short term, the NASDAQ. You can see still just a nice trend down. I love Apple, the stock, the company, obviously, but the phones weren't exactly that great. At least they didn't exactly increase the price. But again, I wouldn't be too excited. I like the watch, but for the most part, it just seems that the Apple stock is not exactly excited for the new iPhone lineup, the watch lineup, and the AirPods lineup. So again, still below that 50% retracement level on the fib line. What kind of gives us a saving grace here, again, if you are an Apple bull, is that 50-day DMA. I say that we break that. I still think we're going to go lower in terms of Apple at least. In terms of the broader market, we could reject here. I mean, we have futures up today, but even in futures trading, I haven't really done much because it's just been so choppy. So it's really just a wait and see approach. You could see this resistance here. The most recent one is around 4019, which is the 20 DMA. So again, if you're a bull, you really want to hold this chart here, this level here at the 1 hour, which is the 20-day right at 4019. We're about 15 handles above it now. And again, we've seen this craziness. This is yesterday's price action. Not a lot. Now, this was Wednesday's price action, a lot better for the bulls, but this was the price action just chopped. So a tough one. At least now we know that Labor Day weekend's over. We're going to have a full week in the market. We're going to have CPI, PPI. We're going to have retail sales next week. We have the Fed week after that. We have GDP after that week. So again, so many moving parts. Let's just go day by day. Let's answer some questions. Levels for possible upside reversal on SPY or SPX. That is from Austin. Okay, so kind of the same thing with ES. 407.17 is a big level, technically speaking, in terms of Fibonacci retracements. That's the 38.2, depending on how you flip it. But again, 407.17 is a 38.2 fib. That's the level you're really looking for. We're now at 403.03, so that gives us right above this 100-day moving average on the daily. S&P futures are hanging onto it. So again, let's see if we can get above 407.17. That's a big fib level. That could get us back to possibly 411.01, which is the 20-day DMA on the daily. So that would be my upside move. Look at 3,900 holding, 390 held pretty strongly. Again, as long as we don't break that, again, that's what we're looking for. Good morning, Carlos. Thoughts on GS and JPM? Yeah, when it comes to the banks, they're not doing that great, but Goldman Sachs is doing decent at least. Key support here around 325. I own this. That's really what you're looking for. I like financials longer term. In terms of JPM, we need to get above here, 122.06. There's a gap to fill right here at 125.33. If you're looking for some upside calls on JPM, if you're looking for downside puts, you need to get below 111.96, and then you could target the 110s. That's pretty much the only edge I see, at least in terms of JPM short term. In terms of Goldman Sachs short term, the short level is really the 100-day moving average around 317.72. Would that be something that I want to get into immediately? There's a gap to fill at 296. That's a heck of a move. We just have to wait and see. Jackson Hole was in the 26. There you go. Jackson Hole was a 26. This big drop on here from, let me see here, the 29th. You could see the 26th. Yep, that was the Jackson Hole drop that we got. So we still haven't even retraced that drop, guys. That's still a little more room to go. But thank you for that. Let's see, end phase. End phase on the daily, very strong. You could see just absolutely on fire. What I want to buy here, I don't know much about end phase to be honest with you, but if you're looking for a re-entry, the 20-day, let me just go to the daily, excuse me. Let's see here. Well, we're at the 20-day, right around 292.46 wouldn't be bad. There's a gap to fill at 258. I think that's a better level to look for if you want to buy. AMD, I was watching that yesterday for possible calls. You could see that this right here, this downtrend here, this line, you could see that we're bouncing above that. There is no gap to fill, at least. Let's go to the hourly. And again, we still need a little more, guys. Maybe a break of around 85 or so to kind of get us above. And then we could target the 200-day at 86.63, possibly. That's my alert there, 85. What are your thoughts on Mara, Bitcoin in general? I own Bitcoin. We bounced off 18.3. That was the log chart from Bloomberg that I posted weeks ago where we bought that level there. So I'm still bullish Bitcoin long term, as always. Good morning, Eric. Good morning. Mara, I'd rather own Bitcoin itself than the actual companies that have Bitcoin exposure. The only one that has Bitcoin exposure, in a sense, the biggest one, is really Coinbase, and that's been murdered. But I like Coinbase. I use Coinbase. I still buy crypto every week, so I'm willing to hold it. That's just me. Morning, Carlos. Thoughts on Docusign earnings? I just read that today. That's going to be great for the small caps, or not the small caps, the aggressive growth high betas. I didn't get to read exactly the actual deal in terms of Docusign. Let me get that for you. It soars on a Q2 earnings beat. Let's see if I can get the exact numbers here. Okay, so Docusign, which has been struggling to hold investor interest as pandemic restrictions bring more and more professionals to the office, earned 44 cents per share over the 3 months in July. Let's go and take a look here. The group also notched a 22% gain in revenue, non-GAAP basis of around 2 cents per share. Non-GAAP, I know, but you could see that they did raise their guidance, and that's a really good sign for Docusign. They also cost cut, and so again, you have less outflow, more inflow. That's a really good sign for Docusign in terms of what I see, at least in the big picture. There is a gap to fill here around 87.47. We're still at 66 bid. So at least you're above major moving averages, but I wouldn't get too excited really. Maybe if you get above 77 or so, that would be nice. But the real big level, I would say, in order for the stock to kind of get out of its this kind of ugly price action, is really above $100 a share. I mean, this stock was a 288 share per share at one point, and there's a huge gap to fill at 227. What I want to buy Docusign here. I think there's better stocks out there to buy than Docusign. Nothing against Docusign, but Adobe has the same exact thing as Docu. I think Adobe is a better deal than Docusign. Just my personal opinion. Zoom, I have too. I have a couple of shares of Zoom, nothing crazy. But Microsoft's a better company. They also have Teams. So again, it's not like they have this, singularity, no competition setup. There's competition there, but good for DocuSign. That's going to help some of the high beta names to rock a little bit. You could see on S&P futures kind of pulling back a little bit. I say that we'll probably retest 4018. I think Apple struggles to get out of it. And I think Apple just filled its small gap here of around 154.66. Again, I've been wrong the last couple of days, but that's fine. I mean, we come back and we work. I still think Apple has a little more downside. I think it does break 153, possibly test 152 to 150, and then probably be a good level to possibly bounce. But 3,900 needs to hold. And so far it has. It's been holding 3,900. I got into puts, guys, here at 38.83. So I want to show you exactly what I did. So a break of 38.83, 3,900 being a huge level. You remember on Tuesday, I was bullish. Then we started breaking key levels, that 3,900. Then it just reversed on us. The dollar came back down a little bit, which helped. But again, that's an L. That happens. But again, guys, this is why levels are important. If the level breaks, you got to stick to your analysis. You got to rock with it because you can't just, change things as they go either. And at the end of the day, I thought we were going to fade again, but we didn't. The bulls came into play. I'm not that upset since I own stocks. But again, puts are very difficult sometimes, especially when it's short week. So that's on me. I'll take that. The SPY and Q's loss, but we're going to make it back. We had QQ calls. Again, I do have Apple calls, Apple puts open. It's not doing great as of this moment, obviously, but let's see if we can stay below that 156.53.35 level, the 100-day. So again, I'm never going to be dishonest with you guys. I lose many times. I've lost many times. It happens. I've blown up accounts myself, and this is not easy, and especially in a very trash tape that we've had lately. Other than Wednesday, there wasn't really much momentum. And again, don't be surprised they sell this off like they do usually in terms of Asia buying futures and then they sell it. I mean, again, every day is a new market for now. In terms of the Fed, nothing has really changed. So again, the big thing here is the dollar. If the dollar can stay down and yields can pull back, equities are going to bounce. So you got to keep an eye, of course, on the macro as always. Keep an eye on the dollar, the VIX, 10-year yields, all that jazz, commodities. But in terms of the market today, 40.36 on S&P, 485, 40.85 would be that 61.8 Fibonacci level. That'd be a great level to look for a breakout because then you could see if you can recapture 4,200, 4,100, get us back to this trend line to the upside. It's very choppy. It's damned if you do, damned if you don't. It's a very binary market right now. I mean, it's just what it is. And we do have some oversold bounces, but it wasn't that oversold either. So what I really call this market right now is a very indecisive one. Both sides have their views. The banks, like Deutsche Bank, for example, said If we have a recession, we're going to go to 3,300. If we don't, we'll go to 4,500. I mean, that's not really analysis to me. I mean, that's so broad. I mean, of course you're going to be right one way or another. 3,900 again, we talked about that key level. The problem is that we broke it. We broke it down and then we bounced. So that happens. What happened to Manchester United yesterday? I mean, I just can't believe all English teams sucked in the competition. Champions League, Chelsea lost, Liverpool lost, and of course Europa, which sucks. United's lost that game too, 1-0. This is the life of a Manchester United fan. Just when you think you're happy, they're gonna take it from you. And don't worry, I'm a Cowboys fan too. I'm ready for 17 weeks of pain. Great game by the Bills, by the way. I thought the Rams were gonna win, but the Bills did win, and they look really good. If you're an NFL fan, whoever has a Josh Allen on their fantasy team, well done. I don't have him. I did have Cooper Cup though, so at least I got a touchdown. So thank you, Cooper Cup, for my fantasy points. Have a great rest of your morning. Have a great rest of your weekend. This Saturday, let's do some chart work together. I'll post it on Instagram as always. That was really fun. I didn't get a chance to do more, but I definitely want to hear your tickers in terms of charts. You guys seem to love it. We'll do it on Saturday. There's no EPL games because of the Queen passing. So college football, I'll do some college football watching, and I'm going to do some chart work with you guys. As always, love to hear from you. Comment your questions. As always, have a great rest of your weekend. No more long weekend, guys. Back at it on Monday, and we'll catch you guys then. Have a great rest of your weekend. Cheers.